on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to explore one of the cities in Metro Manila, Mandaluyong. Now, I've been here before. It's a massive area. I'm starting in the borderland of Ortigas. This is Shaw Boulevard. So I'm going to walk Shaw Boulevard, then F. Martinez, and make it towards Bony by the City Hall, and then make it all the way back towards EDSA. It's going to be a long walk, but I'm up for the challenge. It's not brutally hot today, but it's very humid. But like I said, I love exploring this. I've already walked these both avenues before, so now I'm gonna do both of them at once. I just gotta figure where do I cross. I'm literally passing out the Shangri-La, and I already filmed a video in this area by Ortigas, but I'm gonna focus in the other part of Mandaluyong, which is another cool area. So without further ado, join me. So here's the Shaw Boulevard MRT station. A lot of business on the other side, and there's always like a massive traffic jam over here. So this is gonna be like a raw video, and then if I see any interesting street, I'm gonna detour. Shaw Boulevard is pretty interesting too. I filmed there like last year. They have like a lot of high-rise buildings and condos popping up. So like I say, everywhere you go in Metro Manila, whether it's here, Pasig, you're gonna see like skyscrapers being built up. But wish me luck in this little journey over here. Do a little bit of cardio. I'm just waiting for the light to cross, and then we start our real walk in the other side. And there's a famous EDSA. This is part of it too. The light is gonna change fast, so better hurry and rush up. But the traffic in Metro Manila is on another type of level. And then here, this is the other side of Shaw Boulevard. This will go straight towards near C5, I believe, so it literally connects a lot of neighborhoods out here. And then here's where the adventure is gonna start. Little by little, you see a lot of developments. So we are in for a treat later. Shout out your family. Yo, this delivery guys and motorcycle drivers are very good, like friendly. And I have yet to ride some of the motorbikes, but like I said, I'm gonna walk straight. There's a mall over here too. What I like about Metro Manila is that they have so many malls that connect to each other. Probably walk down this way straight. Look at all the jeepneys. Actually, I'll walk over here. Jeepney station. This is a big way of Filipinos are commuting all over, not just Metro Manila, throughout the provinces, throughout different regions. Trucks used to be used in World War II, and now they use them out here, so that's pretty interesting. And Mandaluyong, I think, is a pretty interesting city in the metro region, in the NCR region, because they have a lot of like contrast in terms of architecture. You know, they got modern buildings. And if you do a detour in some of the regular streets, it's gonna be pretty interesting. They also have like an authentic Cuban restaurant that I wanna try. Not now, I'll probably bring my family, but I wanna try and probably vlog it. It's by, I think it's called Yaya's, so I really wanna try it, because, you know, I've been trying to find any Caribbean cuisine over here, like close to my land. Puerto Rico, that was like the close one that I see out here. I want to show you all the buildings that's being built right here. Right, look at these. I guess it's condominiums. Yeah, Shaw Boulevard, I figured they develop it a little bit more. It's gonna be actually pretty epic. Then they got the bike lane right here too. And there's all like banks right here. I don't remember these buildings were being raised up the last time I came here. If they did, then it's actually pretty fast. So I can see across the street the renderings. The Paddington Place. So you can see how super tall it is. But very crowded over here, like a lot of noise. And then the buildings that just keep going and going towards the other side. So Shaw Boulevard is a pretty interesting street. Also, when I make it towards Bony, it's gonna be interesting too. And more ahead of me, there's gonna be shopping malls. If you detour some of the streets, they're kind of a little exclusive because they got the golf course in the other side that borders with Mandaluyong and San Juan, which is another city out here in Metro Manila. This apartment does competition with Avida. This is Amaya Skies by Shaw. They actually got one by Cubao. I used to live in Cubao for some time. But yeah, pretty much like the same architecture, the small buildings, the concrete building, but you know, it makes it pretty interesting. And behind the video, they got more buildings. I walked there the other time. The only thing, like, it's a little bit like isolated from this main street. But little by little, if you were to ride MTR, like from Cubao down south, and you ride the train on the right side, you'll see all those buildings. The MRT is actually pretty fun. Just don't take it when it's rush hour, but it's actually a fun way to commute and affordable, you know, and then you can see Metro Manila in another way. See, there's all the buildings right here. But not too many foreigners venture around here. They just focus where Shangri-La is and Ortigas. But they should, try to venture in other areas of Metro Manila. Tons and tons of neighborhoods around. I just got to be careful with the sidewalks. I'm sharing it with the cars over here. So this is something they need to work on more in the Philippines, like paving the sidewalks and making it more pedestrian friendly. And it actually gets more interesting ahead of me. This area is like the layouts of the buildings is reminding me like if I'm back home in PR. Like the same concept. I think the bad thing of Shaw Boulevard is always packed with traffic jam. And it's not even like during rush hour time, but you see all the movement going on right here. But hey, I love where the action is. Here we got like more buildings happening at the back, and then I'll show you a tall one on the other side. If you were to go the other way, you get a view of those buildings over there. That's kind of like a exclusive area. There's a barber shop across the street, and there goes a jeepney. And then some of the layouts of the buildings. So yeah, it seems like I'm faster walking than just being in a car. Because it'd be piled up here with traffic. There goes a motorbike and one of the taxi links. And then a couple of businesses out here. So if I want to see more ahead, I got a chance to do a detour in some of the regular streets. Here's where the action happens in Shaw Boulevard. This is kind of like the main streets of Mandaluyong, but I did a detour. That's probably going to happen when I make it towards the City Hall area. You're going to see how nice the houses are in the layouts. Some of the areas that resemble, some of the areas that resemble me like Quezon City, like the similar vibe. But Quezon City, I think it's actually more chill than here because we are not too far from Bonifacio Global City, Ortigas, and Makati. So you got some of the major business districts right over here. So it makes sense why there's a lot of movement going on. It's supposed to be a bike lane, but people, they be parking on the sidewalks. And then this is probably some of the most modern McDonald's I've ever seen. You just gotta watch where you walk, because if you don't pay attention, you're gonna have a bad fall. And then some of the skylines that's happening in Mandaluyong. Then ahead of me is where it gets pretty interesting. Man, if I'm gonna go here and get the Cuban food in the future, I might as well just take a non-cost. If I'm gonna be in Grab, I'm gonna be literally stuck in traffic jam. Like, look at this gas station, how busy it is. But the gas prices are going down, 70 cents. It was a time where it went over 100 something pesos. And now it's going down. It's still a little bit expensive, especially for the locals, but. And then here you see some of these buildings. If you go over here, it's a golf course in a private area. And you see all the buildings in this area, Mandaluyong. This here is called Barangay Wakwak Green Hills East. And then all the buildings that's being built up. But we're gonna continue our walk over here because there's a lot of action happening right here. So in the map, everything looks like it's nearby, but it's actually as big of a walk. Like you gotta walk one of these. Here I think it's like a little mall, SM Center, Shaw. So kind of tiny, but I guess it's a good way to get some aircon. I want to apologize about my voice if it's not the greatest. I've been having a little bit of a cough. Not sure if it's a change to the weather, but my throat and everything. I've been taking tea, to ease up a little bit, but it's not 100% the best. Being careful here, good luck. Paving, I'm literally walking in the street. But that's adventures, man. But we got a lot, wow. So they developed this building ahead of me pretty fast. The last time I came, it was in process of being built. And here we got coffee shops. You see a nice looking building on top. And then just look at this traffic jam, wow. And then this is S&R Shopping. We got one in Bonifacio Global City. And that's like a big store where you get yourself a membership and you can get groceries, everything for cheap. Kind of like what we have in the United States. We got, Sam's Club. So it's kind of like a little bit of a similar concept. So we have it right here. We have this, we have Landers, so many options. Yeah, but let's see what's happening ahead. Ahead is where the traffic is going to be more intense. Yeah, look at all the developments. It's mostly business, so that might explain why there's always traffic. Then a couple of, it's like a car dealership, but then ahead is Mandala Park. But I think it's like a shopping mall over here, and I think behind Mandala Park is where they got a Cuban joint, which I believe it is a food truck. But yeah, eventually I'm going to have to come try it. Yeah, Super 8, everything. But they're renovating over here, so this is Metro Manila, people. Action-packed, 14 million people living in this huge metropolis, including myself, and I can't really complain. I'm happy to be out here. Just look at the cars, everything, the action. You know, a lot of people tell me, hey, why I don't live in the province, you know, it could be a better quality, cheaper. And maybe it is, but I like to be where the action is. This is actually better for me. You know, Berlin's a lot to see, and since I'm always creating content, I think in Metro Manila I get inspiration to go out and explore neighborhoods and film for you guys. So this is Mandala Park, so I guess it's like a shopping center. And they got the famous Pure Gold, which is all over the Philippines. So looking nice so far, you know. A lot of Korean joints out here too. And they got a pedestrian area for you to cross. But over here, you just got to do it on your own because a lot of people, they really don't stop. The road keeps going. This goes all the way at the end. I'm not going to walk the whole thing. I got to figure where F. Martinez is, and then I'll make a left and walk towards by the City Hall, the circle area, and then all the way back to Bony, heading towards EDSA. But it got two huge condominiums over here. But it could really benefit it if they have like a subway station over here to get around. That way you could connect like many neighborhoods out here. Literally the only foreigner out here. Everybody local. But I've been getting a lot of comments saying that because of my complexion, I could pass a little bit, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm half Spanish, half black, so. But yeah, I guess the benefit about me is that my mixed race and my nationality, I can blend in many countries that I go. And here you see these tall buildings, but the cable wires are ruining it, but it's also massive condos that was being built up. Gotta tell you, this road might be worse than EDSA in terms of traffic jam. Like, see, behind me, bunch of cars. And then over here too, it just keeps going. I just gotta pull out my Google Maps and figure I believe it's where the light is. Where's the other road that I gotta make a left and make it towards Bony? So ahead of me is where I gotta make a left. Pretty busy over here, so let me see, is it pedestrian friendly or? Seems like I gotta cross the other side. That's another thing, you know, a lot of places here can be a little bit intense to cross the street. But yeah, I see like the mark of the pedestrian side, so I'm just gonna wait for the signal light and then I make it towards the other side. So this right here, there's a mall here called Shaw Center. Pretty interesting also over here, I guess I can cross towards that side and see what else is happening in Mandaluyong. Now I made it to this main road that connects me to the other major road. So first time here, not sure what are my expectations, but based on my observations, it's gonna be super local. The good thing, not too much traffic jam, but you see tricycles, motorbikes, everything all together. Kind of reminded me when I used to drive a little bit outside of Manila, like Batangas and other regions like that. But yeah, it's like a regular street right here. And so far looking good. You know, the streets, they make it look nice. They put themselves some plants and everything. Let's see if I'm the only pedestrian walking here or there's a few others. But this is pretty much what we're looking at. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna get more interesting ahead. Probably gonna be some sari-sari stores, some markets outside, and there's an overpass that says Mandaluyong City. Here, so I gotta make it that way. I'm not sure there's a way I can cross towards that direction. Only one way to find out, but you see? It says Mandaluyong City in the bridge. So yeah, this is very local over here. So mostly a lot of stores, sell clothes, sari-saris. That's what I like about the Philippines. No matter what neighborhood you go, you can find everything. A lot of even sell for fans, the products, everything out here. At least the sidewalk is safe for me to walk. Yeah, here it keeps going, you know. A different vibe than when you get back in Bonifacio Global City, but that's why it's important to explore every single corner of Metro Manila. See some of the local houses in the other side. There's mostly a community that looks out for each other. I'm sure if you come out in the afternoon, busy out here. Wow, carinderia. You got carinderias all over. Yeah, just gonna be careful where I'm going, but yeah. So far, you know, everybody, they don't bother. As long as you respect the people, they all treat you with the same respect back. You know, Filipinos are some of the friendliest people you're ever gonna encounter out here. I ain't gonna lie, I like this area over here. A little different than Shaw Boulevard. You see how it changes. But same happens back home in the States where I was filming, and it's like a local street over that way. So it's mostly like a palenque style, you know. It's an area where they sell a lot of rice, you know. So this over here, look, a sari-sari right here, barbershop, so everything, it's a community. These are the type of neighborhoods I like exploring. Even a stair that goes all the way to residential areas, but I respect and I don't go inside there. But this over here literally serves, you know, the community. So over here, you don't got to go too far to get your products and everything. Look at the layout of these houses. I know people in Western media think it looks bad, but for me, it's pretty interesting. I actually kind of like it. The way how they build the houses on top of each other and people live out there, that's crazy, man. But it just proves you what humans can do. So literally ahead of me, I can see the skyscrapers of Makati. Because this area borders with Makati. There's a river, and then on the other side, Pasig River, obviously, which I took the ferry over there, and then on the other side is Makati. So all of these neighborhoods, you know, they connect with one another. I see like the barangay hall here, I believe. But what I like about the street is how they keep it nicely, and the fence over here is safe. Kind of reminds me a bit of Kalayaan that goes near Bonifacio Global City. It's like the same concept. Like the buildings and houses look local. They got, you know, calendarias, eating areas, but then they got the nice sidewalks like this. It's real community. I gotta watch my steps. Some of these dogs had like defecation over here. I don't want to step on it. And then street vendors out here. But this area is really cool. I like it. And over here we got the hospital, Mandaluyong Medical Center. Mandaluyong Medical Center. But yeah, I like it. Wow. So I wonder how far I am from Boni, but so far.
Shout out.
The solo. Hello. But yeah, but so far I got distracted. But so far I'm enjoying this. You know, if you enjoy it, then your time goes fast and you don't mind doing kilometers of walk. I already walk long. I'm debating should I walk from here all the way back towards Bonifacio Global City. Let's see. All I ate was like a light breakfast, but I think it's good because that way you're fasting. There's mostly a community over here. And I like the buildings over here. I think I'm getting close to the city hall. And then here you're starting to see Filipino flags in the center. Because the Independence Day, I think it's in a week. So during this time, they usually plant the flags and all of that. See, beautiful flag of Philippines. Yo, this keeps going, like all of these business, and then in between it's like a community. Remember, Manila is one, well, I think the most densely, well, this is the Mandaluyong, but if you go like to the regular Manila in the older part, I think it's actually the most densely populated city in the whole world. Like over 40-something thousand people within, I'm not sure if it's a square mile, square kilometer, but that's just a lot, man. Even some of the neighborhoods I live in the States, a huge ass neighborhood, it will have about that same amount of people. So imagine everybody pile up within a short distance. That's crazy. Let's see and see how the houses, how they build it. Wow, this blows my mind, you know, but I like it. So you can see both the modern, the regular neighborhoods. By the end of the day, everybody is the same. We are all humans and we all have a purpose in life. Throughout the time that I've been walking here, no other foreigners, just me. But you see, nobody cares, you know, everybody's nice and respectful out here. Now ahead of me should be the City Hall of Mandaluyong, which I filmed here last year. So here's gonna get pretty interesting, and the area gets, you know, pretty nice with some houses. You see some of the regular streets, how it looks like. And this is a circle, it goes around a circle. Kind of like in Philadelphia, the City Hall is literally surrounded by, in the center, by the center city, or city center, however they call it. And the City Hall is right there, and then if I make a left in some of these curvy streets, I'm in Bony. Oh, it's Cafe New York. Wow. All about New York, you know, I work in New York for 13 years or more, and I come here and a lot of things are reminding me of back home in New York. Here we're looking good. Goldilocks, it's a good dessert joint. Kind of like Red Ribbon, they have a lot of brands over here. They even have like their own Dunkin' Donuts version, Randy's, and I like their donuts and their coffee. And this is the circle. Oh, it smells good. Great food, shipping, snacks. They have a lot going on here. Pretty vibrant, the circle. And you can see all the traffic jam over here. Wow. Something about Mandaluyong, no matter where you go, traffic, including EDSA, then Shaw Boulevard. Let's see how Bony treats me now when I walk all the way back towards EDSA. You can see right next to me all the business going on. So here, one good thing is, I know you can never get hungry because they got tons of restaurants and joints right here. Then where is Bony? I'm trying to remember. I think it's this one right ahead of me. Well, when I was starting my walk, it was starting to drizzle. Thank God that it stopped. So it's a little bit hot, but not extremely hot like it was like last week. You know, over 100, 110, 113. So, but yeah, what a fun day. Here we got more. Yeah, this is part of Coliseum, I think it's being built. And then here, the classic Philippines. Jollibee restaurant. Talking about Jollibees, I'm really getting addicted to their burger steaks. I eat that actually more than the regular chicken. The chicken is good too, but I'm getting addicted with that steak. And they came up with a new steak that has an egg, some fries, and garlic on top. Man, very good and an affordable price, so kind of craving that now. And here we are once again in Bony, and this will take you right all the way back towards Edsa and Greenfield District. So I got still a long walk to go, but I gotta walk over there. Woo! I literally just saw a huge rat. If you guys know me, you know I panic a lot when I see rats. But yeah, nothing compares to New York City. New York City has tons and tons of rats all over. And over here, see, Bony, nice and organized street. So it doesn't have as much traffic like you'll see in Shaw. But this is just the beginning. Let's see when I walk a little bit more ahead what else will be happening. So they got a couple of business right here. Kuya on his motorbike. I think motorcycle is a good way to be transporting around here in the Philippines. There goes a jeepney. And then I like the layout of this building. It looks pretty nice. Then look at this area, how different it is from the street that I was walking, Martinez. See the houses, the buildings, how nice they are. And then they got, whoa, I almost tripped. Then they got business on the first level. It's a bike lane here, but then cars, they park by the bike lane and they got their own parking. And then I see the buildings right by Edsa, and I see Ortigas right there. So actually, Bony is smaller or shorter than Shaw Boulevard. So it shouldn't be that hard to walk all the way back towards Edsa Highway. And there are some regular streets over there that I can do a detour and show you what it looks like. You know, packing natural, but Mandaluyong is amazing. You know, you see a little bit of everything. A lot of buildings, houses, a lot of people. So I like Mandaluyong. So observations here, Bony is actually much more chill than Shaw Boulevard. You saw on Shaw Boulevard, literally the entire stretch from Edsa towards where I gotta go, there was traffic. Then here, it's actually more chill, you see? Not too many cars, pretty nice and organized the street. But it's good to see the different varieties of street that we have here in the metro. It goes in curve and you see the high-rise buildings of Ortigas and Greenfield right there at the end. But that's on the other side of Edsa. Here seems to be busy. Wow, look at the lines of the jeepneys out here. There's an intersection over here. For motorbikes, but they got a signal light, even a fast food joint. Fast food joints, so wow. And then there's a 7-Eleven on the other side of the street. So after passing that signal light, it seems like here's where the traffic is. It seems like most of the times, everywhere I go in the Philippines, by signal lights or intersections, the traffic jam, they pile up like pretty brutal. And you can wait a long time, then once the light changes, you go quickly, and then you're stuck for a long time. Got a Jollibee right here. Shout out. Huh? Philippines? Are you hungry? I got no cash, brother. Huh? Look at these apartments over here. They look pretty nice. Kind of I think there's actually nicer buildings more ahead. And then ahead of me, you see all the buildings that collide with Edsa Highway. All the condos that's being built, so I'll show you. And here, where you see all those buildings, that's Edsa over here. I think if I go this way, I can make it towards that way. Let me see, I just gotta figure my Google Maps really quick. And then you see, they're actually building another building here, and I think it's gonna be a mall. I saw the rendering, and it's gonna be crazy and pretty big. So everywhere you go is just developments after developments. City that's booming. I think if I go here, I can make it towards Edsa too. Because this one's just gonna take me all the way up the hill. But here's going up the hill too, so it is what it is. You see what's going on. This is a new building, and underneath they got a couple of malls. I think it's a Light Mall or Fame Mall. I forgot which one, because they got a few malls next to each other. And there's an MRT station right there too. So I think I'm just gonna take it to one stop or two stops and then head back towards Bonifacio Global City. Little drain for this walk, man. I think I just need to take an air-conditioned break. But it was awesome, you know, it was impressive to walk a lot of these streets over here in Mandaluyong, you know, the contrast, the friendly people, especially the mini Kuyas. Friendly driver, especially the mini Kuyas and all that. But now I'm just gonna head back towards the other side and see what's happening and then just wrap up the video. This area here reminds me of Arajat area in Cubao. The same style, like a lot of tricycles, a lot of business. If I go here, it takes me to the other side that I want to go. But I think I literally broke a record today of walking out here in the Philippines. In New York, I used to walk every time, but keep in mind the weather was nice over there. Nice over there, but over here, like the weather is actually pretty hot. But today is pretty comfortable, so it's a nice looking street. See, it's mostly the backyard of the condos that you will see in Edsa. Then they got a laundry shop right here. I like how the trees are laid out over here. And then you can take the tricycles to different barangays, you know. So technically you really don't need a car over here. You can get around pretty easy. But you know, a lot of people, they love the cars over here and that causes a lot of traffic jam. Can't believe I missed this area. But I probably might have seen it from a distance when I was riding the MRT. So this is like the other side that we never show. I think a block ahead is where it would take me back into Edsa. So I don't know if I made a little mistake detouring over here, but it's okay because you get to see how the roads look like. We're just going up the hills and motorbike. Wow, it's going fast. And then some of the condo complex over here in Mandaluyong. Then here they got a little bit of a street art, the roses. You know I'm a fan of street art, so this one looks actually pretty nice. Please tell me a block ahead I can head back to Edsa. I gotta lie, I like this area. It's pretty nice. And the buildings and the trees, they kind of help you out, you know, with the weather. Seems like they sell some street food here, a lot of people buying. So they got like medical facilities, I guess the people that come out from the break and they get their food right here. And this over here is Edsa, and you see all the massive buildings going on here. Shaw Boulevard's over there, you see Ortigas right there, and now I'm just gonna walk towards the MRT. Just one more stop, Guadalupe, and then make it little by little, and God's willing, to my accommodation. I filmed a lot today, it's been pretty epic, but I had a blast exploring Mandaluyong. Look at this building, it has a lot of parkings, and then you see the condos on top. And this is a new facility being built up. And the other side is the Greenfield District, which is also part. There goes iconic MRT. Always busy no matter what. I think that's what I really call a workout. Walking all of these treks out here. But hey, I want to keep doing more of it. I was slacking a little bit. Maybe because also I live in BGC now, so it kind of spoiled me to just focus in that area. But you know, I want to keep going out here, exploring. Like I say, forgive my voice because I got coughs and stuff like that, but you see what's going on over here. It's actually pretty nice. You see this buildings after buildings. It's also part of Mandaluyong. And then the Bony station is right there. So I think over here, I'm just gonna start wrapping up my video of beautiful Mandaluyong. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.